Friends, please excuse the crazy video. I was doing some exercises on my back just now, some bridges, some foot exercises. And this is the second time that I've had what I think is a pretty awesome breakthrough in some foot strengthening, but it comes in the form of a violent cramp in my left calf. And I specifically get it when I am targeting doing an action in my foot that is like just waking up. In fact, just now, I had been doing other exercises, which tends to be when I have one of my best like intrinsic foot exercise sets, because I feel like the whole system is warm, is fired up, is coordinating. So when I ask something specific of my foot, it's a little more on the ready. And I tend to get better activation. This is not a rule, but I tend to get really good activation in my feet, as opposed to like when I'm just doing something first thing in the morning. And this is the second time when I've been really asking that foot to go to a position in my toes, in the extensors, combined with some flexion, just activation, when I'm like, oh, a cramp is coming on. Last time I was writhing in, and this time, writhing in pain, tears pouring down my face, also laughing hysterically by how dramatically painful it was. If I didn't know from Kathy Dooley, thankfully, she's like, I don't think anyone has ever died of a cramp. You know, I was like, okay, good to know, because you can feel like your life is in danger. It's really violent. But what I know from last time, as I wake my foot up a little bit, I wanted to document it for you because I didn't have, last time I was just like beside myself, like, oh my God. And it honestly felt like I had a whole new foot. My foot went to a different level in the video game, okay? We passed through a portal. Today, I think same thing. Because right before this cramp set on, and I kind of felt it coming, I was like, you're asking for it. You could turn back now. Because I was asking for a movement and I was getting a quality of activation. It wasn't necessarily a position that I could have recorded if you'd be like, see that? That's new. Probably didn't look that much different. Although, if you see it every day, you're like, it is making slight changes in the ability of the toes to achieve a certain position, which is reflective of an ability of extensors and flexors to reharmonize the way they're activating in your foot. I was on the verge of a cramp, and I was like, I think one's coming, and I haven't had a major breakthrough like this in a couple of weeks. Sure enough, I didn't think that was going to end. I was actually like lying on I was rolling from side to side with my calf in the air. Like just, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But I knew the more tissue that I am waking up. I mean, I remember when I've used, I got all my PT toys in the back, but I have a stick roller. If I can reach it, stick roller. And when I go up and down like the outside of my calf, right? Outside of my calf, you can imagine. I can't seem to picture it. Okay, outside of my calf, it is like brrr, like speed bumps, okay? Or like more like you're accidentally crossing lanes on the freeway or something, right? You're nodding off and you're about to like go into the margin. I've never done any of these things. But you know, it's like brrr, like bumps of knots and trigger points down the side lateral compartment of this, both legs actually, because from wearing orthotics all my young life, like early teens to mid 30s, I never had any use for like the lateral compartment of my leg. It was just completely asleep, defunct, atrophied, and knotted, thoroughly knotted up. And I think that those cramps, part of what I'm experiencing is that tightened, sadly useless sidelined tissue is coming to, right? And it's coming to by force, because it's like, oh, well, I guess she needs us to make configurations with her toes so she can walk like a human being. Yes. All right, so it's just you know, you can't see the tears, they've dried. But just know, when I say, you know, you have to look for cramps in your feet, potentially, like you have to push through cramps. Sometimes it's just little flickers in like when you're squeezing your intrinsic foot muscles. And I hope that's all you have to encounter. I hope your feet aren't, and your calves aren't as dysfunctional as mine. But if they are, just know you can bait that. You can really get up to an edge and be like, okay, now stuff's awake. I'm gonna lie back down. Wish me luck. I'm gonna lie back down and try that movement again. Gently, just to affirm for my body. Ooh, ooh, I I just dorsiflexed. Oh God. I just dorsiflexed the foot, and it's just so seized up and tight out here. It's so seized up and tight. Not in a bad way. I mean, it's not violent anymore, but it feels like the tissue is mildly bruised, is what it feels like. It feels tight and like, you know, on the inside, like it suffered a trauma. And, you know, it had to shake off the stiffness, and hopefully now things will glide a little better. Ooh, yeah, that feels, it, you know, I'm not going to say it's comfortable, but it's not pain. It was quite painful when the cramp was happening. I'm not gonna lie about that either. But it feels productive. You can feel when you have a discomfort in your body that is constructive versus destructive, which is just an important thing to pay attention to in general. All right, on that note, let me stop talking about it, but I wanted to share this moment with you because it feels really big to me. So, yay.